Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $5 a month. So, on the last Let's Play, Alon came into contact with Rat Alon. Because, Alon at this point is a white, small, fluffy, defeated emperor. Or king? He doesn't have any power, really. And he came into contact with a tall, mysterious, one-eyed, maybe, dark-furred rat that also has a red eye. So basically, Rat Alon. And Alon went, "Hey, I want you to take me with you, or kidnap me." And Rat's like, "You can't be serious." He's serious. Reset face. And begin. "I wish to be kidnapped. Right away." What? "Are you there, sire? Can you hear me? Quick, we have to." I turned to the rat to hurry him up, but he wasn't there anymore. I turned my attention away for merely a short glance, and he still managed to escape my sight. The string bound to my wrist rose towards the ceiling. Before I could even properly look up, the face of a pincer servant poked out from the secret passage. He sighed with great relief when our eyes met. "Ah, thank goodness. You've given us quite a scare." "It's fine. You can go back upstairs. I shall join you in a moment." "Oh, that shall not do. This is not proper place for someone of your station. You need a proper refreshment and rest. We have been keeping your bubble bath both hot and bubbly for the past few hours, just like you enjoy it most. The moment of smiling, tail wagging, Pincer approached me within arm's reach. The rat dropped from the ceiling and hit the back of his head with his heel, making the poor dog's eyes roll back. He grabbed the pincer's limp body before it could even fall to the ground, gently laying it on the floor. The whole maneuver didn't cause any more noise than a quiet clap. This one was an adult dog, right? Yes, he was quite old. Okay. Is he dead? No, I don't think so. Ah, so it's like Noon Moon's adventures. You make him take a nap with a bap on the head, and he will wake up all fine around the time we can leave the castle. What? No! Do you realize how serious a concussion can be? He's not gonna feel good when he wakes up. I'll tell you that. It's not like the movies where it's like a quick nap. It actually, it's not good. Especially if you just stay asleep. That is, if he wakes up at all. I wasn't aiming to kill, but it's always the roll of the die, especially if he had some pre-existing conditions I couldn't possibly know about. Oh. Oh, look, he's fine. The rat sighed and groaned as he gagged and bowed, a small dog servant, with the same rags and ropes he initially used to tie me up earlier. Once he got the pitcher all buffled, and secured, he tossed him behind the food crates in the corner, where he couldn't be found that easily. They'll surely send another servant, once this one takes too long to come back. We have to hurry up and... While I was still picking up my book from the floor, the rat walked outside the storage room without a word, pulling me behind them with the magic string. He didn't stop or slow down, even as I stumbled and bumped against the walls and wooden crates. He just stormed forward through the dark rooms, completely ignoring me. "Hey, slow down. I can't... Ah!" Even when I fell, he didn't stop to look at me. He just dragged me over the floor, as the tiny precious gems dropped from my custom-sewn tire. I failed to scramble back to my feet, with the invisible magic force still moving me forward, and didn't stop until my face hit against the closed wooden door. He was trying to leave without me. Maybe he was trying to snap the magic string by pulling it against the closed door. However, that wouldn't work. My wrist ached, pressed painfully against the hard wood. I barely held back my book. Held back my book? Held on to my book. I can read. Though I am a bit tired, sorry, but I want to read this. Okay, that won't do. Stop! Ouch! What are you doing? Trying to leave you behind. But of course I can't. So shut your trap. Hurry up and follow. You're slow. I'm doing what I can. No need to be so rude. I yelped as the door suddenly slung open, slamming against my face. Excuse me, sire. I couldn't hear you. Care to say that again? I let out a quiet whine as he sucked an angry breath of air through his flaring nostrils, gritting his long incisors, staring down at me in open disdain. Listen, you little shit. I showed you mercy because I don't hurt children, but you're making me reconsider. I mean, I did you a solid, and how do you repay me? By forcing some kind of bloody binding magic on me. I was out of options. I need help. This is not how you ask for help. This isn't... Whatever. Words are a waste on the likes of you, canine lords. I know you all too well. You're so proud of living by your canine unity, but that's nothing but a culture of extortion masqueraded as a virtue. You may still be young and ignorant, but there's no way you won't end up rotten exactly like every other one of your kind. You're just like them. There's no honor in your unity. I don't want any part of this. Neither do I. Let me go. You'll find neither friend nor savior in me. I can't. Can't or won't. You knew how to cast it, so you must know how to break it too. What kind of spell is it anyway? It is my own. Your own? An ember? No, it's nothing like that. Of course not. You aren't a hero. Someone like you would never reach a blaze to craft one in the first place. Oh, I did, actually. I went in blaze on someone last month. Bullshit. Whatever it is, get off me. Or get it off me. I won't ask again. I can't. I don't want to. He unsheathed his dagger, staring at me with quiet, calculating anger. I wasn't sure if he was only trying to intimidate me, or if he actually considered doing something drastic, like cutting my hand off. Big parts of his mind and emotional spectrum were still unclear to my empathy. But I knew that, despite my actions being drastic and selfish, I didn't have a choice either way. He was the ray of hope I couldn't just let go of, because there was nothing left for me to latch onto. You came here unnoticed. You know your way around the castle. You can just bring us both out. You can do that, right? I promise I won't make a noise. I promise I'll listen to everything you say. I promise I'll break the spell as soon as we're out of the city, and then you'll never see me again. A promise of a wolf doesn't mean a rat's ass. Then strike me. The string will break if I'm dead. Don't push your luck. I have no choice. I wouldn't cling onto a stranger if I had anyone else to ask for help. But I don't. Even surrounded by servants and guards, I am all alone. He kept staring at me in silence. His eyes slowly trailed towards his reflection in the blade, weighing his options. Finally, he scoffed, sheathing his dagger and turning his back towards me before walking away. I didn't really see any signs of sympathy on his face or his gestures. It felt more like he was simply tired of wasting his breath. Whatever was going on in his head, I was glad he took it all so well. A few steps later, he pulled me up by the red magic string, and I quickly trod behind him, my book still tightly in my grasp. I was overfilled with emotions. I wasn't sure if I was relieved, exhilarated, guilty, or something else altogether. So, while my heart and mind were busy figuring out, or that out, my tongue decided to take advantage of that confusion with its own agency. Curiosity. Hey, what's your name? You're still talking. You have a name, right? Doesn't matter. Shut up. How do I address you then? Don't. Unless you speak. The less you speak, the better. It's good to make friends, you know? I have no friends. Not anymore. Only regrets and responsibilities. 33 young lives that depend on me. You are more like an extra piece of extremely long, annoying cargo and a liability. Oh, right. In case you're curious about me, my name is E. Suddenly, he grabbed me by my snout and spun me around, hiding me under his trench coat, while tracing into a hidden nook in the wall. I was so distracted, I didn't even realize a guard was coming our way. His heavy armor clunked bulkily with each step. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Doing what? Never mind. Continue. I poked my head out and looked at the guard, but only managed to take a short glance at his tail, fully armored giant figure before the rat forcibly tugged me back under the smoke-smelling coat, or his smoke-smelling coat. We waited in silence, with his hand wrapped tightly around my snout, while the heavy stumps drew close to us. The guard was fully encased in shiny armor, helmet and all, with protection like that, my kidnapper wouldn't just drop kick him unconscious like he did with the little pincer. So, I waited in the shadows for him to pass us. The faint scent of smoke numbed our presence to canine noses. However, as I was held forcibly under the rat's coat, something hard pressed against my cheek. A dagger. Multiple blades, and other intricate tools. I felt drawn to it. I reached my finger towards one of his shining edges. Boy, you were dumb. And was surprised to find how it sank into my pink bean with almost no resistance. A muffled yelp escaped between my teeth, and I nearly dropped my book. Huh? The rat's grip strengthened. He, himself, tensed up like a bowstring, observing the canine guard, now standing just a few steps away from us. The dog looked around, alarmed by the mysterious sound. He tried to peer through the darkness, but the rat kept perfectly still, blending with us with the shadows. After noticing nothing out of the ordinary, the guard scratched his metal helmet in confusion. Must have been the wind. And continued walking. Is that like a, what was it? Skyrim joke? With an arrow in your face, it's like, must have been nothing at all. I almost audibly sighed with relief, but the rat already predicted that, plugged my nostrils and fingers of the free hand that wasn't already holding my muzzle. We held our breaths, waiting for the guard to walk away. I remembered I didn't close the door to the kitchen section, so I wondered if we'd go there to investigate, giving us a chance to escape. The issue of the mysterious food thief would have been a thorn in their side for months already. So he would call more guards to this section of the so would he call more guards to this section of the castle? He had. Sorry, sometimes I like reading visual novels, but it's like, sometimes it's just like I don't feel like I ain't doing good, but I'd still want to read. We had a lot of distinguished guests from all across the country and from abroad, so I doubted they would make too much commotion over some stolen bread. Objectively, it was a serious breach of the castle's security, but I assumed they would prefer to avoid sounding the alarm, if possible. It would be a very bad look to make a scene on that night in particular. It would be fine, I reassured myself. It was just bread, right? The guard stopped, noticing something on the floor. He picked it up and looked at it. It was something tiny. It shined in the moonlight, like a shard of a star. He sniffed it, and my eyes widened at the same time as his own when he realized what it was. It was one of the many precious gems that loosened up and fell off my clothes after being dragged over the floor earlier. My smell must have still lingered on it. Owu? He sniffed towards the kitchen, then more towards us, the moonlight reflected in his eyes from behind the grating in the helmet as he stared right at us, skulking in the shadows. He carefully stepped closer, sniffing the air. He stared exactly in our direction. Suddenly, in the middle of the next step, the rat pushed me away and jumped right at the guard, dagger in hand. The dog couldn't have possibly avoided the surprise strike like that. It came out of nowhere, like a shot of an arrow. Right at the moment, his ironclad foot was still in the middle of falling down a step. The slow, fully armored dog had absolutely no chance of reacting to a perfectly executed maneuver like that. Or at least, it couldn't if the magic string didn't get in the rat's way. Right before he could plunge the dagger into the cracks between the guard's armor, the length of the magic bond between us stretched to its limits, and made both of us fall and roll over on the castle's marble floor, right in front of the confused canine. The book of Noon Moon stories slipped from my grasp and fell down with a dull thud. He looked at the rat. His eyes widened. He looked at me. His mouth hung open with a gasp. Heck! He immediately drew steel, slashing the rat between his shoulder blades before he could dodge away. I could hear him muffling a pained groan in his chest. Another slash went upwards at the luminous string, but the blade only slipped alongside it, jerking the rat and my wrist forward. Before the string could even slip off the tip of the sword, the dog was already in front of me, guarding me from the rat. As competent as he was, the guard understood he couldn't deal with that invasion and that magic on his own. He took a breath to call for a pack. But the howl didn't come. The rat tossed something right at his helmet, making the dog choke in the sudden, short-lived cloud of dust. The ironclad giant covered me with his own body, while wheezing for air, struggling in vain to let out a howl. He stumbled around, desperately, trying to stay conscious, but ultimately collapsing by the wall, only his legs peeking out from the darkness. His dull, metallic thud echoed through the long corridor. The rat's dust smelled like herbs, pollen, or something. Damn it. Are you okay? He cut me. I will smell blood. He took out a little bag of another powder from under his coat. He puffed it in the air, and then struck a flint against the dagger, lighting a half-translucent cloud with a single spark. It puffed into black smoke, slowly dispersing into nothingness, leaving a vague, dull scent behind that messed with my nose even stronger than a cigarette. The guard helped me sit him up. With great effort, we pushed and pulled the guard's heavy, fully armored body, raising his back up against the wall by the entrance to the kitchen. Both my partner and I gasped in exhaustion. With a few moments, he found the clasps and fastenings of the guard's helmet, taking it off his head with a bit of a struggle. I recognized the guard as Jake, one of the nicer and more well-behaved dogs. I guess Rune knew that guy? Then, he did something I hadn't seen since that time we traveled to the Observer's hideout with Gunnar. He plunged his hands into the solid stone and pulled something out. A bottle of wine, which he swiftly pried open with a couple of twists of the dagger. The rat grabbed Jake by the throat, pushing it open in a particularly forceful way, pouring half the bottle straight into his stomach. Then he put the glass down by his side, spilling some of the wine on the marble. He also grabbed a sword and dipped it in the stone, the same magical way, and when he pulled it out, there was no more blood on it. You could hear more heavy steps coming our way, from the direction we were originally planning to follow. We made sure that whatever found him would assume he got drunk on stolen wine, regardless of how unfair it was to, to a good boy like Jake. Scram. While my rodent companion collected all of our loose gems in the immediate vicinity, I went back for my book. Just as I reached it and picked it up off the floor, the string pulled me away. We ran down the moonlit corridor and then up the stairs right before the newcomers could spot us. We maneuvered throughout the corridors, the moon and dozens of royal Lupin portraits on the walls being the sole witnesses of our skulking. But we needed to keep it that way. My captor was much more observant than me, and he changed our course of escape multiple times, long before I could hear any other steps or voices. Suddenly, he jumped back and grabbed me by the scruff, dragging us to one of the many dark storage rooms. With his hand over my muzzle, in complete silence, I listened as a couple of pairs of feet walked down the corridor and past our doors. He let go of me only once we were back in complete silence. It's like a cartoon. Okay, this place will do. I saw a brief glow of magic as he pulled an oil lamp out of the floor. However, even before he could strike his flint, I could smell something. Something suspicious. Hey? I don't think we're alone. Huh? Right, as the flame illuminated the closet, we looked at the source of the yelp from the corner. Two shocked pairs of eyes. A burly, Great Dane dog embracing a Komodo dragon tightly from behind. Both of them completely naked and at a loss for words. Oh, bloody, don't look! With my eyes covered by the rat's hand, I hear him throwing a pear. Something at the surprised couple and making them cough and gasp for air. He covered my mouth too, so I wouldn't inhale the sleep dust. Keep your eyes on the door, he hissed. Well, I went on to gag and bind them the same way he did with the pincer earlier. By the time he came back, I glanced at them, still in full body contact, but covered in a linen sheet for decency. Or maybe not so much for their decency, but rather for the sake of my innocence. Sorry to inject, but did you see what the dragon was packing? No, it was a messy room. I didn't have a good look. The Great Dane was uwu to him, though. Probably. Well, I was just curious, because I heard Surians have two uwus. I always wondered if that was true. Actually, while we're at it, for extra, stuff... Oh, wasn't there censor indecent, stuff? Is that, like, Polish? That's Chinese, I think. Oops, sorry. Oh well. Is that really at the forefront of your mind right now? Not all Saurians do, but yes, Komodo dragons indeed have two woos, Luke. They often use both of them in alternation. And no, Rune, I did not woo with one myself. I know all that from studies, autopsies, and from experimentation on living ones. I didn't fucking ask. Oh. Man. Is Rune in a bad mood? Forgive me, that was a reflex. A reflex? The water's too hot. I'll go cool down. Rune, what the heck? You're bleeding. Crap, still have Aelon's dagger stuck in your hand. Why didn't she say anything? Come here. I can remove it. No thanks. Go ahead and continue your story. Seems all of you are having a good time. Rune. I'm sorry for my comments. Truly, I didn't mean to offend you. No, it's fine. I wasn't joining any of this anyway. You can finish without me. Rune, please, sit down. Let me take care of your hand, and tell me it's wrong. Seriously? Do you really have to ask what's wrong? He snarls, making us jump away in surprise. However, he quickly quiets down, shaking his head in embarrassment. The husky stands on the cold floor, water dripping at his feet, forming a wide, steaming puddle. He turns his head towards us, without looking at anyone in particular. He sighs, and his stare finally falls to and his stare finally falls in the water, at Alon's reflection in it. Great. You managed to steal back your freedom so early in your life, even if you decide to trample over everyone in your path to do that. I don't think I'd fall so low myself, but hey, we won't know for sure, since I was never given a choice in the first place. Who knows? I would actually Who knows, maybe I would actually betray you myself if you didn't do that to me in the first place. After all, the observer showed you I did that every time for some reason. I wonder if Rudy was still alive in those other futures. Was Rudy the guy that got drunk or something? That we made get drunk? I think so. Rune turns around and walks out of the room, with his set of short barbed spikes piercing through his clenched hand. A set of short barbed spikes? The steps grow distant as he disappears into the darkness of the unlit corridor. The silence lingers among us uncomfortably. Alon just stares to the side, his expression changing. Will he be able to remove it? No, without a free hand. Should I go help him? A loud thud reverberates through the corridor, followed by a distant, furious snarl. We listen for a moment as the silence falls back down on us like a suffocating, heavy blanket. I can faintly hear the sharp sound of the automatic doors being opened and closed at the very distant end of the corridor. I think he needs a moment. Yeah. I nod in agreement. They are right. When you feel down and are tired of people, sometimes it's a good thing to take a moment for yourself. Okay, that's the game that's ringing, not my own ears. To calm down. To mull it over. To bottle and repress it. Just like I've been doing all this time. Alone. No, that's wrong. Okay, that was interesting. That was the past of Luke. Of Max. Huh? What's wrong, Luke? Wait, what? You're mumbling to yourself. Am I? Sorry, never mind. I just got distracted. Please continue. Well, I think with that something, like, how weird is it that this happens? Like, I was like, oh, we should be like 10 minutes into it, and then I turned to it and it's like, oh, we're pretty much at time. Woof. So, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, cause I like comments, damn what you like, dislike. Tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that grow, please learn to new animals. To help control the pet population. I don't know why my throat was just like, hey, we're going to suddenly not have a lot of air not really air in it, but you know, things and stuff. And until next time, another Let's Play by me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter, a game where I was gonna make a joke, but it's like, things and stuff. But yeah, a good game full of doogies and stuff like that. So, thanks to you.